G'day guys, how you doing? It's Sparrow back again with another video for my series, Underused Ladder series. Today I'm bringing a bit of a different team. This time around I'm bringing a fairly hyper offense team, aptly named Dragon Spam. Obviously you can see the Mega Altaria and Komodo. I really enjoy using this team. It has some funny lures. It plays differently to what you might expect. And I don't know, let's just get straight into it. I want to show you the team. Before we get into the team builder, on face value, look at the Cobalion matchup. That is one thing to be aware of when using this team, but I'll show you the ways I can work around it with this team in particular. Alright, first up we have Mamoswine. This time around it is completely physical, jolly for obvious reasons to tie max speed Togekiss to beat out Jolly Breloom, etc. I just find Icicle Crash in this case to be better versus something like Amoonguss, which as you can see, these two here later on don't really have the best coverage for that Pokemon. Not much else to say here. This set is fairly standard on Mamoswine. Next up I have my Breloom switch in with Klefki. Safety Goggles is literally a way to get spikes up for free. In this case I'm running modest special attack investment to KO Breloom with the Dazzling Gleam straight away here. HP Fire is for the Sizzle coverage at the same time. So an offensive Klefki, but it does what it needs to do. Sets up the hazards so these three can sweep later on. Next up, the next addition to the team was really just a bit of an all-rounder. I use Healing Wish in this case to bring back any of these three. That is Blissey, Choppleberry. So here's my workaround Cobalion. Other than T-Wave on Klefki and the fact that it struggles to switch in, Choppleberry on Blissey. In this case I'm running Serene Grace with Fire Blast and Ice Beam. Special attack investment is to KO standard Gliscor with Ice Beam, not the special defensive variant, the 244 HP variant. Fire Blast and Ice Beam with Serene Grace is really just, you know, it's cancerous on the ladder. It's really funny just getting random hacks and status versus the opponent's team. In this case, I really just utilize Blissey as a pivot. It switches in versus Pokemon like Primarina and just tanks hits for me and really just helps out. So that's why I run Blissey. No HP invest is a little bit annoying. You're taking a lot more from special attacks than normal, but I guess that's just the nature of hyper offense. Healing Wish is self-explanatory with these last three Pokemon. So running Altaria, you guys would have seen this set in the past. In this case, I run Fire Blast just because I feel like Scizor is another threat to this team. As you can see, once it gets a Sword Dance up, it is a bit annoying, so I like to lure Scizor with Fire Blast. People don't expect Dragon Dance, Fire Blast, Altaria, so and I don't really need the healing because I have Healing Wish Blissey, so that's my mentality here. I don't need Invest in Special Attack because I think it KOs bulky Scizor even with a minor special attack nature. I could be wrong, but yeah, Fire Blast just hits the Scizor way harder. Well, it KOs the Scizor for the rest of the team. Next up, we have a Jolly Scizor with Z Superpower. This is for other Scizor. It still functions as a breaker. I feel like I don't need Adamant here because of the hazard stack, so that's pretty much my mentality. Interestingly enough, Mantine can come in pretty much for free versus the Scizor and get off a defog. Mantine is a little bit annoying for this team, but obviously this is hyper offense. I'm going to run Facade on this Altaria just for like toxic and skull burns versus that Mantine that I've been talking about. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, with Hazard Stack, I don't think I'm going to be missing the power of frustration too much. Bug Bite, I just wanted to... I did have Knockoff here, but I am liking Bug Bite a bit more at this moment because it does hit Swampert for a lot more. It means I don't need to lose my Z superpower, and the other part of it is Amoonguss again, which can tank hits from these two Pokemon, Altaria and Komodo. Lastly, we have Autotomize Komodo. Interestingly enough, Stall doesn't really like switching in versus this Pokemon. So that's why this guy's here. Clanging Scales goes through subs. It's a good switch in versus sub superior. It's a good switch in versus sub Chandelure. Bulletproof blocks the Shadow Ball from that thing as well. Focus Blast can 2-hit KO Blissey. It's the strongest move on the set. The only downside is the accuracy. And Flash Cannon's just to hit fairies like Togekiss on the switch in. So, evaluation of this team is it's kind of weak to like a Bandit Azumarill, but you can work around that with Hyper Offense. And it has its other benefits here. So, I guess I could talk about how this team works all day, but I'd rather just show you guys. So let's get straight into it. Dragon Spam away. Holy dooly. Here we go. Okay, so face value, my opponent has the Azumarill, which is annoying. I have Komodo does put in work here. I don't want to let that Azumarill get anything off too early. I feel like I can lead Blissey here and pretty much threaten anything but that Azumarill. At the same time, I've got the Klefki switch to get at least one spike up. So I'm just going to lead with Blissey. Fire Blast is going to do quite a lot to this Blissey. I also run speed for 0 speed Sizzle, so I think I'm going to be faster. I'm not sure if it 2-hit KOs, but I've got the burn chance at the same time, and it just does damage. So pretty much just forcing my opponent to into a bit of an awkward position early on here. So let's go for that Fire Blast. The only issue I have with running Facade on this Altaria here is it's less damage if I'm not statused versus like something like a Belly Drum Azumarill, which could be a bit annoying late game. I'm going to go for another Fire Blast. I'm not overly worried about Chandelure. I can soft boil it up versus it. I will stay in with Blissey and get one Ice Beam off just to see what set it is. And then go from there. So he goes to Gliscor. Please burn. That'll be hilarious. No burn. He doesn't know I'm Ice Beam, so I'm going to go straight for that. He might knock off. He's going for Roost. That's okay. He's going to be scared. He's probably just going to indefinitely Roost here. That's okay. He switches. I've got the Serene Grace chance, which is a 1 in 5 freeze. So let's see what happens here. And we get the freeze, boys. This is cancer. It really is. Going to Klefki, going to Spike. Looking at his team, Gliscor looks like his defog user. That could be a Scarf Hydreigon. Does nothing versus Altaria. Altaria's looking like a good win condition if we can get that Aggron and Amoonguss low. At the same time, he also has no Mamoswine switch in, so that's what we're looking at here, boys. Fairly obvious he's going for an Earthquake. Mamoswine doesn't mind. If he goes for Defog, Mamoswine just forces it out. So that's my mentality. Ice Shard. I think Jolly Ice Shard actually 1-hit KOs Gliscor. Let's have a look. Mamoswine. Gliscor. Also, his Azumarill, which was his Ice Shard switch in, is pretty much gone. So Ice Shard has a good chance to 1-hit KO from that range as well. Let's have a look. He decides to risk that range. Okay, all good. I also know for a fact here that Heavy Slam doesn't KO Mamoswine. If he's Iron Head, it does. As I said, Altaria Sweep is the end game here, so Earthquake's coming out. Gets it low. Stealth Rock now. I know Mamoswine's good to keep for Amoonguss, and the Ice Shard's good for Hydreigon, but Stealth Rock just really pressures him, especially with Chandelure, so that's really what my mentality is here. I think my play is to go to Blissey. And we know we're faster. Ice Beam's a no drawback play. Nothing really like switching in. It pretty much forces him to go Chandelure. I do have the Chopple in case he's some variant of Superpower Hydreigon, and Fire Blast is pretty good versus Amoonguss. So I'm just going to Ice Beam versus Chandelure to scout the set. As I said, Chandelure doesn't do... Oh, he is Defog. Hydreigon. Not bad, mate. At the same time, your Choice Scarf High Defog, Belly Drum Azumarill really looks threatening versus your team. Alright, each to their own. On for another Ice Beam. No hacks here. I'm going to Ice Beam just to scout what he goes for. He could Trick. He goes for Flamethrower. It does nothing. I can pretty much stay in indefinitely now. I'm going to softboard here first. He goes to Azumarill. Klefki's coming out. That freeze is really hurting my opponent. It really is. But that's the reason why I run Serene Grace Blissey. Cancer. Okay, he's probably Sporing. He's going to get caught off guard here. I'm HP firing here just to get some chip. My opponent decides to forfeit. Good game, mate. Sorry for the cancer. But that's why I've got the sets on this team. Alright, next one. I'd just like to apologise. I didn't actually upload a recording yesterday. I had work from 10 o'clock till 6:30 p.m. So that was a long day. And when I got home, I was bloody tired. Didn't have much time at home. I had an hour at home before I went out again. I just had a good mate's bucks party and things got very wild. I'm not going to stipulate as to what happened, but it was fun. Alrighty. My opponent has Darmanitan, Fortress. I feel like Como is the logical lead here. It's only threatened by these two. I doubt he's leading with them with the Darmanitan, so I'm going to lead with that bad boy. He leads with Fortress. Clanging Scales won't miss. He'll do a decent amount of damage here. I just don't want to risk it this early in the game. If he goes to his Azumarill, my Klefki is the pivot. Azumarill really does threaten this team, but if it's not banded, it's not really a problem. That did quite a bit of damage, showing that he's likely max Fizz Def Fortress. So that's not bad. Focus Blast comes out. Fortress is down. He only gets the rocks up. Pretty happy with the outcome there. He's likely going to go to Azumarill, so I'm going to Spike. If he brings in Darmanitan, I'm going to T-Wave that. That's neutralized after that. If he brings out... Oh, looking at this, Subcarmine Raikou is quite threatening as well. We can probably work around it. Obviously, I don't have Seismic Toss on this Blissey, so yeah. That's another thing that I've overlooked here. That's okay. You can't cover everything with your teams, and it comes down to how you play around it. So hopefully I can show you guys how I'm able to play around that particular set. I'm going to go Blissey here just to scout what he goes for, and obviously get a free Ice Beam. So he shows he's the Swords Dance set. That's okay. I'm going to Ice Beam. I believe it one-hit KOs, and he's probably thinking, oh great. Blissey can't touch Sceptile, so I'm going to go for my Swords Dance anyway. So that's my mentality. Blissey is just a pivot anyway. If it is Subcarmine Raikou, it's not doing anything. So I'm going to go for Ice Beam here. Hopefully catch the Sceptile on a Swords Dance. If it goes for Outrage, I believe Blissey lives anyway. So I'm going to be taking out Sceptile regardless. He goes for the Swords Dance. Ice Beam comes out. Good night, Sceptile. So that was pretty self-explanatory, but I hope that helped you guys understand the play. If he goes Lucario, I'm going to Fire Blast. He's got a good chance to Swords Dance. He goes to Darmanitan. I think I can win with Altaria. So that's my game plan here. Do I want to keep Blissey? I don't know. I'm going to Healing Wish. He's going to take a shit ton from Flare Blitz Recoil. Healing Wish just, gives me a little bit of momentum. I don't think Blissey is doing much, especially if that's Subcarmine Raikou. And I have Mamoswine as a backup if it is Subcarmine Raikou. So I didn't really, account for Subcarmine, but Mamoswine is a decent check, especially with Thick Fat. So not over the top a huge issue. I'm going to go Komodo. I believe Focus Blast is the play. If I miss, so be it. That'll be pretty shitty. Maybe Clanging Scales is the play. It just brings in his Azumarill for free, which I'm worried about. At the same time, I still have... If it's Belly Drum Azumarill, I can still tank hits from it. So Clanging Scales is coming out. Well, I don't know if he's forced to switch. I don't know if he's going to sack his Darmanitan here. He's seeing the Klefki and Scizor, and I think the play for him is to keep Darmanitan. At the same time, I don't know what my opponent's thinking. So I'm going to go for Focus Blast. He does switch. Focus Blast does a decent amount to Azumarill. He's looking at his team. He doesn't have a Z user. It could be Z Carmine Raikou, which makes a little bit of sense. Or it could be Z Belly Drum Azumarill. I want to keep Komodo as a switch into Flare Blitz. I'm going to go Klefki. See what my opponent decides to do. He goes for Play Rough. I'm just going to calc that damage. It looks banded. Let's go Klefki. I've got it in the custom sets. No, I don't. Modest. I think it's like 140 or somewhere around about. Let's go Azumarill. Choice Band, Play Rough. Okay, so he's definitely Z Belly Drum. Got a Dazzling Gleam first. Do it as Citrus. Okay, yeah, that makes sense actually. Gonna Spike. He's probably going for the Aqua Jet. Hang on a second. Maybe he prefers the flinch chance, but I think like Liquidation on Belly Drum makes more sense anyway. I guess Waterfall flinch chance is better versus Amoongus. I don't know. I feel like I don't want him setting up the belly drum. Dazzling Gleam feels like the logical play, but even then, if he does belly drum, Scissor's just going to bullet punch him. So, knowing that, I'm just going to spike here. He goes for the jet. That makes sense. His Waterfall, he's not... I don't think Scissor does much, so I'm going to Swords Dance with Scissor. Just, you know... I'm considering Zed's superpower, but at the same time, he'll just Waterfall here. He doesn't... Yeah, it's not going to take me out. Bullet Punch just does a decent amount of damage versus anything else coming in now. So that's my logic. Just chipping the team down. Just getting ready for the Altaria cleanup. At this stage, if that's like a nasty plot Lucario, I'm a bit worried, to be honest. But it's not the end of the world. Bullet Punch comes out. Okay, Altaria's the play. Just because I can't let Nasty Plot Lucario set up here. Flash Cannon, +2 Flash Cannon KOs Altaria even without Mega Evolving. So I don't want that happening. I'm not interested in that happening. Lucario comes out. Now I'm going to make an interesting play here just because I don't want him setting up Swords Dance +2 Extreme Speed. I think just blast through this. Meteor Mash here will take out Altaria. Close combat. So he's actually in a winning situation. I think I have to rely on Fire Blast hitting. Just want to see how much Fire Blast is going to do. Altaria. My opponent played the end game quite well, so it's a little bit scary. Fire Blast doesn't KO. But I just want to see. Meteor Mash does KO. That's like nothing. Earthquake. That's 252. Also does nothing. I might have to rely on Life Orb recoil here. I'm going to go for Earthquake. See what he goes for. He is Nasty Plot. I have to rely on if he's Life Orb here. Otherwise, it's a little bit annoying. He's not Life Orb. That's a good game. Really, really well played at the end there by my opponent. He wasn't Life Orb. I didn't know if he was Swords Dance. So literally, my matchup there was if he was Swords Dance, his best play was actually attacking with Meteor Mash. Well, no, that wasn't his best play. He lived everything. So if he went for Swords Dance, he pretty much just took me out. He just clean swept me after that. So my opponent really played that endgame quite well. I don't know what else I could have done there. As I said, this team does have a poor Cobalion matchup, but it also has obviously a poor Lucario matchup. So good game, mate. Well played. Let's get the next one. I just enjoy using this team because it's something different, and I just want you guys to see different kinds of teams that you can use and underused. It is a fairly versatile tier, and there's a lot of options that you can run. So that's my main interest, is getting you guys to see what is possible. Okay, Lucy's my best lead here. It just stalls out the hail turns. Fire Blast. He doesn't really have switch-ins to Serene Grace hacks as well. So that's my mentality. I might go for a freeze first turn and then go from there. Brings out Komodo. Good play. I am Choppleberry going for Ice Beam. I can't risk him. He is sub Belly Drum, I believe. So Salakberry. Drain Punch comes out. Freeze comes out pretty early. Choppleberry. Sorry, mate. Like, what other option do I have? You got a very threatening team versus me, so Serene Grace is disgusting, but that's why I run it. That's why I have it. Let's see. Ice Beam. It's 1 in 5 chance, so I guess those odds are still ridiculous, but what can you do? I'm going to soft-boiled. I can Ice Beam. If he goes for Encore, good on ya. I'm literally just stalling out his turns of Hail here. Ice Beam doesn't have a switch in, especially if I get that freeze. So, yeah, he goes for Encore this time around. That's his last Hail turn at the same time. Sand Slash comes out. I'm going to go into Klefki, set up my Spike. He can't set up Aurora Bell. Mate, what are you doing? You just wasted your turn. Probably going to Earthquake here. Earthquake. um, yeah, I pretty much triggered my opponent with that freeze against Komodo. Choppleberry did come in handy there, but at the same time, if I didn't get that freeze, I feel like that Komodo would have been threatening. I did have Klefki to take it on. It would have tanked any hit before the +6 boost. And in hindsight, probably going to Klefki was my play. I just didn't want him to get a free sub, but you know, Klefki was probably the better switch in. Thanks for that match, mate. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm interested in doing a team rating series in the future. Let me know what you think about that. I really want to help you guys out, get into the underused tier, and going forward from there. That's my plan. So, thanks again for watching. Take care. Bye bye.